So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I do like the design of the head.
Oh, hey, look, it's Crocodile Dundee.
You suck. Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers. Hello YouTube, Ultra Maximus back with another toy review, and today we're taking a look at another Transformers figure, and it's from the Titans Return. It is Skullsmasher and Grax. Now this was a figure I was really looking forward to in this line. I loved this character as a kid. I've got the Fans Project version of Positum, the Optimus Prime version of him, and then I've also got the Toy World Swamper, which I really, really like. So I'm really looking forward to see how this figure compares to those two. He's a lot more in scale to the Positum than he is to Swamper. Swamper's a big old gator, which I really do like, but this dude looks pretty cool. Now, I'm pretty sure it was Skullcruncher, wasn't it? Yeah, G1 Skullcruncher? So, again, I'm guessing we've got some kind of legal dispute with the names on some of these characters, so they've had to rename him Skullsmasher, which, I mean, it's really about the same thing. He's chomping on skulls, so yeah, I'll go with it. Definitely looking pretty cool on the onset, so let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. So here we have Skullsmasher in the package. Again, very similar to what we've seen with the previous figures. It says Transformers right there. It says Generations. It's got artwork in the back with Grax launching off of the body. We've got the figure here in robot mode. We've got his gator parts. There's his little alligator mode. It says Titans Return. And it's kind of interesting. It says Adult Assembly Required. So there's some parts you got to put together, apparently. I don't really remember seeing that on the other figures. So yeah, side of the package has got his artwork, so just a close-up. There is Grax launching off the head. There's the assembly required. And then here he is in box, looking all kinds of cool. There's a little alligator side of the package artwork there. So yeah, definitely pretty cool. Here is the back of the packaging. And the back of the package looks very similar to what we've seen with the other ones. We've got, hey, these heads are interchangeable between the different classes, and it's got the Scourge and Galvatron, and then Blaster down here. The little head turns into a robot, he turns into an alligator, and he can drive the alligator. And then he's got a bio, which is interesting. It talks about how Grax can basically make his energy signature invisible to Autobots, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, there's a close-up of some of this stuff. There's the back, there he is riding, here he is transforming, and then if you want to pause and read the bio, you are more than welcome to. So that pretty much does it for the packaging. Let's go ahead and get Skullsmasher out of box and see what we think. And here we have Skullsmasher out of the package, and I've got to say, I'm a little disappointed in this figure. Primarily, not because of the mold or paint. I think that looks pretty good. The joints on the figure are kind of loose. They're not like fall over loose, but I think over time it's going to happen, which is very, very sad. I'm going to have to get some floor polish or something to try to straighten them up. The other thing that's kind of disappointing is the head here. The alligator, it's actually a crocodile head. It's not an alligator head. This thing is so heavy, if he's not holding his tail, it wants to fall over, which is kind of annoying. And the feet, the toes in the front are way too tiny. And it doesn't have anything on the back of the heels to kind of help him stand. And then there's an issue with the cockpit, and I'll talk about that when I get into crocodile mode. Just all around, this is, of all four figures, I was really, really looking forward to this one the most, and it just fell a little short to me. Alright, now the articulation on this figure is pretty decent. He's got his head, which twists around, looks up and down just a little bit. His arms do come up that far, and that's mainly for transformation. He does spin all the way around. He has an elbow joint There's slight movement here in the wrist, again, for transformation. He does have a swivel at the hip, which is nice. And then his legs move that far forward. They go all the way back. He goes out super crazy. He's got joints at the knees and then slight toe articulation again for transformation. So, yeah, overall, I mean, it's posability is good. It's just that, like, the knees and the hips and the hands are super loose. The upper arms and the elbows are pretty good. It's just this whole lower leg area is just really, really bad. Now, he does have the weapon gimmick, very similar to some of the other figures here. You can pull this off, and then you're going to pull this little gun off, and then you're going to pull Grax off here, like this. I'll throw the body over to the side here. And then this, the tail piece, you can flip that down like that. And then there's the little gun that you can plug in right there, so it becomes a little weapon piece there. We're going to undo Grex here ever so slightly. So there's Grax. Kind of opposite in colors of the original G1 figure, where the body's green and then the legs are black, where he had more green on the body originally. But we're going to put him in the little gun piece here, so he can become a little gunner out of that. Again, I really like that play gimmick. You know, a larger figure can hold it. This figure can hold it, but then you wouldn't have his head, so you can actually put any little headmaster unit in there and it worked fine, or you can plug it onto a base. But I really like the cross-play ability in this toy line. I think that is super, super cool. So I'm just going to put a little Grax back onto Skullsmasher here. So yeah, I mean, love the metallic paint on it, and I'll talk more about that in a close-up, but definitely a really cool looking figure, just disappointed with the joints. So taking a closer look at the figure itself, I do like the head design. I like the black and the gold. I love the chest, very reminiscent of the original figure. The shiny metallic green is very, very cool. I like the stripes on each side there. The crocodile head is pretty cool. It's got that neon pink. Again, it's got a kind of a pearlescent color to it, metallic color, which is very, very cool. I think they did a really good job with it. The only problem with this alligator head is, or crocodile head, is that it makes it very top heavy. Now, taking a look at the middle section of the figure, I like the pink on the hands. I wish the claws folded in a little bit more. It's a little disappointing. I like the design of the waist there. That looks pretty cool. Little plain, but cool. He's got his great big alligator tail weapon piece here, which looks nice, but you kind of have to have him hold it to balance out the crocodile head. Otherwise, he just falls right over. And the legs, they're a little gappy in the back, but my biggest problem with them are they are loose. So I don't know if that's a QC issue with my particular figure or if all of them are like that. I'm definitely going to have to use some floor polish on it to strengthen them up. And taking a look at the bottom of the figure, he's got these big clunky pink feet, but the problem here is they don't work very well. The toes are tiny, they're very gappy. I like putting the gun at the edge of the alligator tail, kind of giving another weapon kind of look. And the legs just kind of hang there, which is unfortunate. But looking at the back, all these things are so gappy, and it just does not help to stand this top-heavy figure at all. They should have done something with those alligator feet to kind of help balance it out. For comparison, here he is with the Fans Project Positum. This is the Optimus Prime version of Crocs, and this was a con exclusive, and yeah, this is a way better figure. It's also way more expensive. I did not get the Crocs version. I got the Optimus Prime version because there was one episode where the Constructicons build an Alligatorcon out of him. I will leave, if you've not seen that video, I will leave a link to it right here. Definitely a cool figure. This one's slightly larger than this deluxe figure here, and the joints so much tighter. But yeah, I mean, it's actually not a bad size comparison for you know, what it is. You know, $15 versus, I think that was about 90. I can't remember off the top of my head, but definitely Fans Project put a lot more money into the toy. And here we have Skullsmasher, Skullcruncher, whatever you want to call him, with Blur and Hardhead, two figures I have previously reviewed. And I have to say, I like the two Autobots better than I do this Decepticon thus far. Out of the three figures of the wave I have reviewed thus far, Blur surprisingly has been my favorite. The other thing with Blur that I didn't mention in the previous videos, I keep forgetting, is that you can actually lift up this little piece on his head to kind of give him that little spoiler thing on the top of his head, if it'd go into focus. So that's pretty cool. I do like that. Scourge does the same thing, apparently. But yeah, definitely cool. Definitely digging that. Let's go ahead and swap out the heads, because that's the play gimmick. Oh, come on, Blur. Let your little guy go. Let your little guy go. Then let's pull this guy's head off. Then let's pull this dude's head off. And so just kind of a comparison. Yeah, so pretty cool. Definitely digging that. And just to compare him and Blur with his little headpiece up, actually. Come on. Yeah, definitely cool. Definitely liking them. Let's see here. Let's do swap outs. Bink. So there's Blur's head on Skullsmasher's body. It's okay. Not too big of a fan. Let's see what Hardhead's looks like. His actually looks pretty decent. See how, yeah, see, look, there's the leg joints. You could repaint that and it actually look really, really neat, I think. And then, what does this guy look? That actually looks pretty cool. I am digging that. I think that goes well on that body, and I'm presuming it's not going to look good at all on Blur's body. We'll just throw Blur's head back onto this dude for now. Dink. And then let's see what he looks like on Blur. Dun 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 dun. Not too terribly bad. Again, I would say a repaint and would look a lot better, more Stunticon. Would be kind of cool. But again, I like the interconnectivity of this toy line, not just in the deluxe figures, but in the Voyager and the Leader class as well. Now, Skullsmasher does come with the trading card that all the others do. It's got his artwork there, looking pretty cool. Definitely digging that. And then we have his stats on the back. If you want to pause and read that, you are more than welcome to. Now, as far as transformation goes, it's not that difficult until you get up around the shoulder bits. I kind of had issues with mine. Again, I don't know, maybe it's quality issue. It just seems like there's a tolerance gap error, but yeah, it's not too terribly bad. So let's go ahead and take a look at the transformation. So here we have Skullsmasher in his crocodile mode, and I say crocodile mode because of the snout on this thing. It's very, very pointed. That is more akin to a crocodile than an alligator, which would have a broader snout, if anybody out there is a reptile geek. But I definitely like a lot of aspects of this mode, and there are things that I don't like on this mode. The head. I love the head. Just kind of looking at the whole thing here. I love the metallic green and the pearlescent pink. I think that looks really, really cool. The head's gorgeous. It's on a ball joint, so it can look up that far, looks down that far. He can look left. He can look right. It's painted well. I like the little Decepticon logo. He's got these little snaggle teeth coming out. And then if you open the mouth up, you get this really, really awesome sculpt work in here. It's a soft rubber, but that's okay. It works for me. I like the tongue. I like the detail on the tongue there and on the upper roof of the mouth. I mean, that looks amazing. And then we get problems with the shoulders. The shoulders are kind of hard to get locked into place with those tabs. In transformation on this one, it kind of went in a little easier, and I usually have to work forever with it to get it to stick right. The front feet just look a little big compared to the back, and there's like no articulation on these feet. They're just there like that, which is kind of sad. You do get some articulation up here. Kind of nice little Decepticon logo there. I mean, it looks decent enough. The back of the tail does move back and forth, but you can pull it off of that peg. It seems like that peg should have been a little higher to me. I don't know. And then this is something that really bugs me. Here's the canopy. I mean, it goes in pretty well. It hides in pretty well, but it's a soft vinyl. I don't like it. Getting it down is kind of annoying, and then you can push it in too far, and you got to get like a pencil or something to pop it out. So that's kind of annoying, but you can put little Grax in there like that and then close it up. A little different than what we had on the original G1, where he was in the head of the crocodile or alligator or whatever it was supposed to be. The other thing is this piece does not clamp down on anything and can pop up loose very easily, which is a bit disappointing, but yeah, for the most part, it's a decent alligator or crocodile mode. I like this mode better than I do the actual robot mode. It feels a lot more stable in this mode than it does the other one, which, you know, it's probably going to end up staying in this mode. For comparison, here we have Skullsmasher with the Toy World Swamper. And very different figures. Very different. There are things I like about both. I love the size of Swamper. And he's more of an alligator. He's got that broad nose up here. And, yeah, I don't know. I just like his size way better than I do Skullsmashers. However, that doesn't make Swamper a bad figure. In fact, I think this is a better Transformer. The joints are a lot tighter. There's no soft vinyl on it, which is very, very cool. However, I will say that the look on this one is a little bit better in the fact I like the sculpt work on the head and the body a lot better than this one. It's a lot more sleek and sharp compared to this is kind of clunky junky. Which, I mean, it works for this one. I just think this looks a little bit sharper. I like the green and the pink on this one a little bit better. Actually, I think I like the pink on this one better than this one, but I definitely like the metallic green on this one and the head sculpt on this crocodile so much more. I think if we could take the best parts out of this figure and combine it with this figure, maybe make this a Voyager class, get rid of the rubber piece here, make it a little stronger, it'd be a lot cooler of a crocodile figure. So is Skullsmasher a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? Well, if you're collecting all the Titan Returns figures, then you're definitely going to get this thing. If you're a Skull Cruncher fan, you're probably going to want to pick it up, but I'm going to warn you, the joints are loose. You saw at the beginning of the video where I'm trying to do a take and it just falls right over. It did that like 2 or 3 times on the stand, which is very, very sad. I just, you know, that and that soft rubber canopy just really disappointed me. I don't know. I had a lot of high hopes for this figure, maybe too high of hopes. But out of the line so far, I gotta say, I think Blur is my favorite. I mean, it's a good-looking figure, and it's a nice update to Skullsmasher. I just think that they needed to make the joints tighter, and instead of that rubber canopy, we should get a plastic one, maybe a little, you know, neon pink one, translucent pink or something. Or translucent green, like we got on the other figures. I don't know. Out of the figures I've reviewed so far, this one just feels cheap. So, for better or for worse, there he is, Skullsmasher from Titans Return.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and as always, look for more videos in the future.